So I want to thank you for joining me out here in the shop once again. This, as you can tell from the title, is part 5 of making some liner lock folding knives. It's time to get the detent ball, the stop pin, and the lock face all set up, and maybe even today or tomorrow get these blades heat treated so that we can start all the final finishing work and be on the road to making some really beautiful finished knives. I have my rotary table on my mini mill all set up here, ready to mill the stop pin track. But first, I need to scribe on these blades where the detent ball and the detent ball track is going to be, because I need to place the stop pin in between those two spaces. So I am going to assemble these knives, scribe the detent ball track, and then I will get it all locked up here on my rotary table. It's just a real small one. And then we will drill and mill out the stop pin track. What I have done is I have found the area where it will be best to put the detent ball. Now I'm not going to set the detent in the blade yet. I'm just going to drill it in the lock bar. I have to put the stop pin in before I drill into the blade for the detent ball. But right now is the perfect time to decide where I want to put the detent ball in the lock bar. And then I can make sure that the stop pin track has enough room in between the pivot and the detent ball. Now I'm going to mark where the stop pin track will be using one of these drill bits. You just put it in there. A little bit of pressure, and you just open the knife. And there we go, the stop pin track has been marked. So now I know where I can mill my stop pin track. There we go. This one's marked as well. So now I want to measure and find the midway point between the detent ball track and where the pivot washer is going to be. And you just find the midway point. I'll scribe a little marker right here. I've scribed a mark. I can see this a lot better in person, and so I will take my punch. I will punch it right there, reassemble the knife, and then I will drill all the way through both scales and the knife. I'll start with a 3/32 inch drill bit, and then I will counterbore the insides of each scale to hold on to the stop pin. I'm going to hop on. So I'm going to get this reassembled. I'm going to do the same thing to the other knife. Then I'm going to hop on the drill press and we'll get the stop pins all set. And then I will hop on the mill and get the stop pin tracks all milled out. move to the mill. I have my rotary table. This is a 1/4" drill bit. I'm going to use that to find the center of the table. There is a 1/4" hole down inside here. I have modified my rotary table to meet my needs specifically. It's definitely a unique way that I do it. It's not necessarily the way a true machinist would do it, but it works for me. I get good results. I'm happy with it. Now I will put the blade in so that the pivot hole is centered on the rotary table as well. Now that everything is set up exactly how I want it, I'm going to swap out 1/4" drill bit. In comes beautiful 5/32 inch solid carbide end mill. It is now time to do one of the most nerve-wracking things when making a folding knife. It's time to mill the stop pin track. So let me take a big deep breath. Tell myself that everything's going to be okay, because hopefully it will be. We are going to crank the RPMs up, drop our end mill down, and very, very slowly turn the table. Very, very well. We have a success. It went really, really well. A little bit up here I have to clean up by hand, but a good file will make quick work of that. Now this one looks just as great. A little tiny bit of cleanup here and there with the file, but that is absolutely wonderful. Have the knives reassembled with their stop pins. They close to where they should, without the blade touching any of the hardware, and they open to where I want them to stop. So now I can actually set the detent into the blade. It is now time for me to disassemble these once again and set the detent ball. And that is one thing that the detent ball, and getting it set where it's supposed to be, it takes a whole lot of finesse. One part about folding knives is that it is very delicate, and finesse is a very underrated skill. So this one, it is very close. It needs another one or two more gentle taps. There we go. And with the detent balls, if you hit them too hard, you push them into that hole and they do not function. If you do not push them in hard enough, then they will fly out once you reassemble the knife and try to open and close it. So there we go. Detent balls have been set. And now the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to mill the spring area of the lock bar. So I'm going to get these all viced up in the mill, throw in a carbide end mill, and get milling. Detents are set. Fantastic. So the pivots have not been polished yet, so the action is not as smooth as it will be. But in an unpolished pivot, if you can get it almost open, that is a very good sign. I have a fresh 60 grit belt just to make this as smooth and beautiful as possible. And I have both blades here ready to grind. I am going to throw on my respirator, get these bevels ground to where they need to be. So let's make some dust. 3V core is fully exposed on both sides. So a little bit more exposed on this side, but that is okay. The edge is all 3V, so very pleased with that. You can really see that on the spine. See that 3V core? That is pretty darn cool. And that is where I'm going to end this episode of Let's Make a Knife, Part 5 of the liner lock folding knife build. It has been such an amazing journey. These knives are truly looking beautiful. Let's take one last look while I close out the episode. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I am so excited to get these heat treated and get the locks fit and get the actions beautifully smooth. These are going to be such amazing knives once they are finished, and as of right now both of them are available. If you do want to reserve one, please send me a message and we can get that all set up. I am very just excited about being able to make materials like this. The stainless Damascus with the CPM 3V core, it's an absolutely terrifying material to forge weld. but it is so worth it, and it is just so beautiful in person. And I'm not even sure how I do half of the stuff I do out here. I just kind of throw stuff together, fail a lot, and eventually something works. And everything that I figure out how to do, I have to fail at first. And so, like with the first set of blades, you saw me fail on those. They didn't turn out how I wanted. I wasn't happy with the steel. But on these, I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Very happy with how these are looking. I am really excited to see how these look after they have been heat treated. The contrast should be amazing. Thank you for coming along on my journey of building my first liner lock folding knives. There will be many more videos on my channel soon. Thank you for your support. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Even hit that notification bell to let you know when I post a new video. I'm really excited to continue making amazing YouTube content for you guys. I want to thank you for watching once again, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will catch you on the next episode of Let's Make a Knife.